The wind howls a lonely song along the jagged coastline of Long Island, Nova Scotia. Here, the Bay of Fundy crashes against ancient volcanic cliffs with relentless fury. This isn't a place for the faint of heart. It's a raw, untamed landscape where the air feels heavy with secrets and the sea whispers tales of forgotten shipwrecks. To reach this spot, you descend a long winding staircase, 253 steps that take you down into a world that feels older than time itself. With every step, the modern world fades away, replaced by the roar of the waves and the salty spray that clings to your skin. The path is often shrouded in a thick, rolling fog, making you feel like you're stepping into another dimension entirely. As you reach the bottom, a gnawing sense of unease might creep in. The cliffs loom over you, dark and imposing, their faces scarred by millennia of wind and water. You get the distinct feeling that you are not alone here. It's as if unseen eyes are watching from the shadows of the rock formations, ancient sentinels guarding something sacred. This is a place where nature's power is on full, unapologetic display. The ground beneath your feet is a jumble of fallen basalt columns, remnants of a violent geological past. It's a graveyard of stone, a testament to the forces that have shaped this dramatic coastline, and you can't help but feel small and insignificant in its presence. This primal atmosphere sets the stage for one of the Atlantic's greatest enigmas. It's a place that feels charged with a strange energy, where the line between the natural and the supernatural seems to blur. Visitors often speak of a palpable tension in the air, a feeling that something profound and unexplainable resides here. The constant sound of the churning ocean and the cry of distant gulls only adds to the haunting ambience. You are standing on the edge of a continent, staring out at an endless expanse of water, and the isolation is both breathtaking and deeply unsettling. It's the perfect setting for a mystery that defies logic. Before you even see it, you can feel its presence. The entire area seems to lead you toward it as if pulled by an invisible force. The path ends at a wooden platform, a small man-made island in a sea of rugged nature. From this vantage point, you finally lay eyes on the reason you came. It stands there, a silent testament to the impossible, challenging everything you think you know about gravity and the laws of physics. It's a sight that stops you in your tracks, forcing you to question what is real and what lies beyond our limited understanding of the world. The journey down was just the beginning. The real mystery is about to unfold. There it is, the balancing rock. It's a sight that simply doesn't make sense. A vertical pillar of volcanic rock standing impossibly on its very end. It's about 9 meters tall, almost 30 feet, yet it's shockingly thin. The column rises straight up from a narrow ledge, seemingly glued to the edge by some unseen hand. Below it, the powerful tides of the Bay of Fundy, the highest in the world, surge and retreat, their waves crashing just meters from its base. It looks like a gust of wind or a gentle push would be enough to send it toppling into the churning abyss below, yet it has stood there for thousands of years, unwavering. The rock is a single, slender column of basalt, a remnant of volcanic flows from over 200 million years ago. What makes it so baffling is its orientation. It stands perfectly vertical, with a significant portion hanging precariously over the gap between the main cliff and its rocky pedestal. The connection point is so small that you can see daylight peeking through the gap from certain angles. It defies every instinct. This isn't a massive boulder wedged between two larger rocks. It's a delicate spire that appears to be performing a constant gravity-defying balancing act for an audience of roaring waves and circling gulls. Geologists have a perfectly logical explanation for its formation. They call it columnar jointing. When the ancient lava cooled, it fractured into these hexagonal columns. Over eons, erosion and the relentless pounding of the sea wore away the surrounding rock, leaving this one more resistant pillar behind. But this explanation, while scientifically sound, feels incomplete. Why this one rock? The shoreline is littered with the shattered remains of identical columns that have long since succumbed to the very same forces. Why has this single fragile sentinel survived when all its brethren have fallen? It seems to stand in direct defiance of the very process that created it. The question hangs in the salty air, unanswered. The rock stands through brutal winter storms, hurricane-force winds, and the constant freeze-thaw cycle that fractures lesser stones. It has endured coastal erosion that has reshaped the entire bay. Scientists can tell us how it was formed, but they can't fully explain its phenomenal endurance against overwhelming odds. Looking at it, you can't help but feel that there's more to the story. Perhaps science alone isn't enough to solve this puzzle. Perhaps the answer lies not in geology, but in something far older and more mysterious. Long before geologists arrived with their instruments and theories, the indigenous Mi'kmaq people of this land had their own understanding of the rock. To them, this was never just a geological anomaly, it was a place of deep spiritual significance. Legends passed down through generations speak of the stone as a powerful marker, a sentinel placed by the creator Gluskap. In some tales it is his lookout post, a place from which he could watch over the people and the sea. In others, it is a physical manifestation of a powerful spirit, a guardian standing eternal watch at the entrance to the bay, protecting the land from harm. These stories treat the rock not as an inanimate object, but as a living entity with a purpose. The Mi'kmaq held it in reverence, approaching it with respect and caution. It was considered a sacred site, a bridge between the physical world and the spirit realm. Elders would tell their children that the rock's perfect balance was a symbol of harmony in the universe, a delicate equilibrium between the land, the sea, and the sky. If the rock were to ever fall, it would be a terrible omen, signaling a great imbalance in the world. Its continued stability was seen as a sign of nature's enduring power and grace. Unlike the scientific view, which focuses on the how, the indigenous perspective focuses on the why. Why does it stand? Because it was meant to. It serves a purpose beyond our comprehension. This view imbues the stone with an agency and importance that geology cannot measure. It's not a random fluke of erosion, but a deliberate creation, a sacred monument with a vital role to play. This ancient wisdom suggests that trying to explain it away with physics is missing the point entirely. The true mystery isn't in its composition, but in its spirit and its enduring message of balance and vigilance. This reverence is something you can still feel today. Standing before the stone, it's easy to dismiss the scientific explanation and embrace the more mystical one. The sheer improbability of its existence seems to demand a supernatural cause. The Mi'kmaq legends offer a narrative that feels more emotionally and spiritually satisfying. They transform a geological curiosity into a profound symbol, a character in the grand story of the land itself. The rock becomes more than just a pillar of basalt. It becomes a guardian, a teacher, and a timeless link to a world guided by spirits and ancient magic. The balancing rock isn't just a mystery for geologists and historians, it's a hotspot for strange and unsettling personal experiences. Countless visitors have walked away from the site with stories that defy easy explanation. One of the most common reports is the overwhelming sensation of being watched. People describe a feeling of unseen eyes following their every move, a prickling on the back of the neck that suggests they are not welcome. This feeling is often most intense when they are alone, standing on the viewing platform, as if the rock itself is observing them with a silent, ancient intelligence. Then there are the more dramatic accounts. Local lore is filled with tales of bizarre weather phenomena centered on the rock. It is said to be a magnet for lightning, with eyewitnesses claiming to have seen bolts of energy strike the pillar directly, leaving it completely unharmed. Other stories speak of sudden, inexplicable mist that roll in from the sea, enveloping only the area around the rock, disorienting visitors before vanishing as quickly as they appeared. There are even whispered rumors of people who have vanished without a trace from the site, their disappearances adding to the location's ominous reputation and deepening the mystery. Alternative theories have emerged to explain the rock's impossible stability and the strange events surrounding it. Some speculate that the area sits on a powerful magnetic anomaly, a localized pocket of geomagnetic force that effectively locks the stone in place, counteracting the pull of gravity. Others venture into even more esoteric territory, suggesting the rock is not natural at all. They propose it could be an artifact of a long-lost civilization, a piece of ancient technology whose purpose we can no longer fathom. Perhaps its balance is maintained by an internal power source humming with an energy we cannot detect. These theories connect the balancing rock to a global network of mysterious standing stones and megalithic structures. From the stone circles of Europe to the Moai of Easter Island, humanity has always been fascinated by stones that seem to defy the laws of nature. Could the balancing rock be part of this ancient worldwide grid? Some researchers believe these sites are markers for ley lines or channels of Earth energy. Perhaps these stones are not just random geological quirks, but nodes in a forgotten network, their impossible balance a sign of the powerful energies flowing through them. Ultimately, we are left standing at the edge of the world, staring at a question carved in stone. On one hand, we have the logical, measured explanation of science, columnar basalt, fractures, and differential erosion. It's a neat and tidy theory that explains the rock's formation, but it feels hollow. It fails to capture the awe and disbelief the site inspires. It cannot account for the rock's incredible longevity against impossible odds, nor can it explain the unsettling energy that seems to permeate the very air around it. Science tells us what it is, but it falls short of telling us why it's still here. On the other hand, we have the realm of legend and the paranormal. We have the Mi'kmaq stories of a spirit guardian, the visitor reports of eerie feelings and strange phenomena, and the wild theories of magnetic forces or ancient technology. These explanations, while lacking in hard evidence, resonate on a deeper, more primal level. They speak to our intuition that some things in this world operate by rules we do not yet understand. They suggest that the balancing rock is more than just a rock. It is a monument to the unknown, a challenge to our modern rational worldview. Perhaps the true purpose of the balancing rock is to serve as a reminder of our own limitations. In an age where we believe we can explain everything, it stands as a silent, defiant rebuttal. It tells us that there are still mysteries left in the world, places where the veil between what we know and what we don't is incredibly thin. Maybe we aren't meant to solve this puzzle. Maybe trying to dissect it, measure it, and explain it away is a form of arrogance that misses the point entirely. Its enduring presence may be a lesson in humility, and so it stands. Through storm and fog, through the changing of seasons and the passing of centuries, the Sentinel of the Bay keeps its silent watch. It holds its balance, and it holds its secrets. Perhaps it's best to leave it that way. As you climb the 253 steps back to the modern world, you carry the unsettling feeling that some things are meant to remain a mystery. The rock stands for a reason, and that reason might just be beyond our fragile human comprehension. And perhaps, just perhaps, some stones are better left unturned.